Hello all, this is a new video in the series Voice Starvation, where I'm talking about commentary channels. Now, commentary channels have been very big on YouTube and other platforms. I personally don't know how to start one, but that seems where a lot of the content's going, reacting to other people's content. And I really don't see a problem with it, really. People are just giving their perspective on things, their ideas. And that's never a bad thing, in my opinion. We all have different ideas and perspectives. But the problem is when the person watching, that's their only perspective. They don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to quickly, you know, sift through what's theirs and what isn't the person's. Like, again, I think people are getting parasocial perspectives where they think their ideas are their own, but they're really somebody else's. And that's not good. It's not good at all. People need to think the mind is like any other muscle. Allowed to stagnate, it will be statistically horribly weaker than it needs to be to handle the rigors of the world. It's like taking gravity away from the muscles. Thoughts and minds like gravity to the mind. Helps put pressure so they can push against it. And without that pressure, without that conflict, without those ideas, the mind withers and dies on the vine. And with AI, I only see that getting much worse. Because thinking's hard. New ideas, crafting them out is hard and scary. I put every video out without any idea that anybody's going to like it or care about it or find it remotely interesting, and that's fair. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And I can understand that from my perspective. Okay? And it's good to turn your brain off once in a while. For instance, the Minecraft movie came out, and it wasn't a cinematic masterpiece by any means, but it made well over $1 billion. A lot of people flocked to that mind numbingness, that brain shut off stim, and that's fine. Escapism is healthy. But trying to escape your own views and ideas for another person's is not good. When you're offshoring your cognition, it's not good. People need to think for themselves, and a lot of people want to do that. Doesn't help that a lot of thinking is shot down more than it's shot up. You know what I mean? It's not pushed in the forefront. How much time, how many ideas have we let go by the wayside just because we didn't want to embrace them or even give them a chance to think on them, to put them against the rigors of other ideas and rational thought? What have we lost? And again, I have nothing against commentary channels. If this is how they make their bread, I can't judge. I will not judge. It seems really fun. Seems quite simple an idea. Probably not easy. There's still work that needs to be done. And I watch some. I watch a few commentary channels. I like it. It helps me think. I use it as an addition to my thinking. I'm curious about a topic. For instance, a lot of commentary channels I watch talk about nutrition, food, because I'm a nutritionist. That's how I am. And it just makes me want to think more. And a lot of it proves me right, for better or worse, about all the trouble with food. But that's another story. And just not thinking, not thinking at all is not good. People need to think. They also need to be heard. And those two things are usually not happening these days. And that's a sad fact. A lot of people's ideas, conversations, their concentration isn't put on thinking of oneself, it's thinking of others, what they think. And it's not popular to have new ideas, to change the dogma, to be the progenitor of the paradigm shift of people's thinking. It's not fun. It's not easy. And the most thing you'll be doing is fighting against older ideas. Stubborn, unwieldy, not going anywhere just because you had a new idea. And on the other idea is maybe what old is new and new is old. I see a lot of parallels between our society and society's past, for good and bad. And I don't know. I don't know how we're going to get out of this. I implore people to think for themselves and visualize and meditate and exercise their frontal lobe more. Not everybody has to be the next, Plato or Aristotle or Leonardo da Vinci, but just having a voice and be able to communicate with that is a very powerful skill, a very powerful way. And this YouTube is most people's voice is like a normal guitar. And this, the YouTube, social media, other methods, is the electric amp that bolsters the signal to much higher highs. Again, for better or worse, it's neutral. So I try to do this channel is more neutral. And it just goes to show you have a voice, but it's being drowned out by others with bigger amps, more expensive amps, better lighting, better this and that. I think we're turning away to more of the bare bones, grassroots of the foundation of YouTube and expression without all the glitz, the glamour, all the perfectionism. It's coming down to the simplest parts, atomizing down to what is thought, what is an idea, how do we make new ones and better ones. So, yeah, that's my video for today. Hope to hear from somebody. Bye.